In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 4 tips to get to $1 million a year in commission in your real estate business in the next 12 months. So buckle up and take some notes. What's up, YouTube? My name is Callie, and I am a 7-figure broker owner and coach who has helped dozens of agents confidently scale from 6 to 7 figures in their real estate businesses. And on this channel, I help you scale and grow your business to 7 figures like a lean, mean selling machine. So if you've ever researched ways to grow your real estate business, or you haven't gotten to $1 million a year yet in your real estate business, or you're just feeling stuck, then keep watching this video because I'm going to share with you exactly what I deployed in my business that catapulted me from $250,000 a year to well over $1 million a year. And here's the secret, it's not that complicated. The more disciplined I got implementing the strategies that I'm about to share with you, the more free time and money I actually had in my business. What? So what does $1 million a year look like in terms of transactions? For the purposes of this conversation, we're going to use 3% for our calculations. The average home price in the US is $436,800, which makes the average commission check approximately $13,000. So in order to make $1 million a year at $13,000 a side, you've got to be able to close 6 to 7 sides per month. So how do you do that? How do you make your business predictable and close 6 to 7 deals per month on a consistent basis? It's doing that elusive thing that the average person has such an aversion to. It's called being disciplined with the way you approach your business. Now, before we move forward, let's talk about what average looks like in our industry. 95% of agents don't even close 3 deals per month. So that means if you're watching this video right now, you're probably not even closing 3 deals per month. And if we do the math and you were actually closing 36 deals per year, you'd be making approximately $468,000. And that alone puts you in the top 2% of income earners nationwide. But the reality is that the average real estate agent only makes about $85,000 a year. So to use this as an example, let's say that your annual brokerage cap is about $21,000 a year. Now, at $21,000 a year, you're left with about $64,000. You're going to pay 22% income tax on that remainder. And if you're smart, you've got health insurance, and that's costing you about $560 a month, which is $6,720 a year. By the time it's all said and done, your net income is about $43,200.
No! God, please, no!
Which means you're so broke, you now qualify for government subsidies. Congratulations and welcome to real estate. I don't know about you, but that's not why I got into real estate, and that's certainly not my definition of success. These strategies that I'm about to share with you are simple, but the reality is that so is making $1 million a year in real estate sales. So the real question becomes, why aren't more agents doing it? The problem is they're not doing it well, and they're not doing it consistently enough to gain traction. So they don't grow, and they stagnate, and they get resentful. And then their self-worth takes a hit. And when their self-worth takes a hit, that only serves to perpetuate more procrastination and more half-assery. And the cycle becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why most agents struggle and fail to get to $1 million a year in revenue. So without further ado, here are my top 4 tips. Tip number 1, time block the revenue producing activities. This is so simple, but it's seldom executed properly. So what I'm asking you to do here is to systematize the revenue producing activities in your calendar so that you can stop living in a constant state of reactivity and start being in control of generating leads and cash flow in your business. You have to spend 80% of your time as a sales professional generating and closing deals. Everything else must be leveraged. Things like client relationship management, transaction coordination, writing offers, counters, and addenda. You're the sales stud, or you're supposed to be, so that's where your efforts are best applied. And let me remind you, if you can't instill discipline into your real estate business, you don't have a business, you're a hobbyist. And hobbyists don't have the tools or mentality to grow and scale revenue. Tip number 2, expired, cancels, and for sale by owners weekly without using a script. Okay, so hear me out on this one. Expireds, cancels, and for sale by owners are the best pool for right now listing appointments. Period. End of discussion. So if you're short on listing leads right now, meaning that you've got less than 5 viable leads in your pipeline right now, it is unacceptable to just sit around and wait for your sphere of influence to come knock on your door and give you an opportunity. First of all, if you're a 7-figure sales professional in any industry, you are not sitting around waiting for an opportunity to fall into your lap. You are out there seizing it. So that might be the first thing that needs to change, a mentality shift. Second of all, when you do any telephone prospecting, whether you're taking inbound leads or you're doing outbound calls, scripts are the quickest and most surefire way to get hung up on because you're insulting people's intelligence. They can hear it in your voice. The natural intonations and inflections when you emote are stripped from your voice when you're reading off of a script, and people can hear that you don't sound natural. If you want to command a conversation when you're on the phone, you've got to be able to do it without the training wheels. If you get on the phones and you're able to intelligently and intentionally ask the right questions, then you're going to be able to have all the information that you need to serve these people's unique needs back to them on a silver platter and win their business. So the formula becomes ask the right question, get an answer, provide a solution, win their business. Tip number 3, use your CRM. If you don't have systems around lead capture and lead nurture, you don't have a real estate business. And this is not something that you can just wing it with if you want to scale. You must put in the time to create thoughtful follow-up with your leads. And from my experience coaching agents, not a single one of them had follow-up systems around their lead capture and lead nurture. They just winged it, and winging it makes you a hobbyist, not a business owner. So use your CRM. Categorize your leads into buckets, create follow-up catered to those buckets, create thoughtful campaigns addressing each of those buckets, and then let your system do the work for you. Again, most agents are not using their CRM to their fullest potential because they lack the discipline to park their butt in a chair and work on their business. Tip number 4, buy quality leads. Like it or not, you've got to buy quality leads in order to scale to 7 figures. Cheap leads are clickbait leads that give you volume, but you've got very low conversion rates, whereas quality leads are going to exponentially increase your conversion potential. And when you can lean on and identify your conversion rates, that's when you can start making big moves in your marketing. In my professional opinion, quality leads are Zillow leads. Love them or hate them, folks, Zillow is the #1 real estate website. It is the juggernaut where the majority of buyers' eyeballs are at. So if you can't beat them, join them. For me personally, Zillow's like an ATM, and top producing agents and teams who have mastered Zillow will tell you this. They track their numbers or they have their account rep do it. They know exactly where their conversion rates are and they can scale accordingly. This isn't about throwing darts in the dark. This is about making educated and informed decisions in order to scale and grow your revenue. And I want you to remember this, what gets measured gets managed. When you're tracking your numbers and you understand your conversion rates, you're able to make larger commitments with your marketing. So to recap, you've got to time block the revenue producing activities or else you're going to be living in a constant state of reactivity. You've got to pick up the phone and make the sales calls like the sales professional you are and call expired, canceled, and for sale by owners. You've got to work on your business and actually use your CRM, and you've got to buy quality leads. If you're doing these 4 things correctly, the operative word here being correctly, there is no reason that you can't scale to 7 figures in the next 12 months. If you liked this video and found it helpful, smash the like button. If this video got you pumped up to go out there and close more deals, then hit the subscribe button because every week I'm going to be bringing you more content geared towards helping you grow your real estate business. Also, if you want my exact 7-figure blueprint of how I took my business from 0 to $1 million, then head over to my website, CallieKelly.com, where you can gain access to all of my content, where I dive deep into strategy so that you're not struggling implementing any of these concepts on your own. Now go out there, get focused, and kill the game. Deep into strategy so that you're not struggling implement, so that you're not so that you're not struggling. But the reality is that the average real estate agent is, I hope my armpit sweat isn't showing. Me, Matt, my armpit sweat showing.